Okay, looks like we're live. Good evening, everyone. My name is Joanne Fields, and co founder of this event that we are going to all celebrate this Saturday, the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Community Celebration Sports Fest and Parade. We also have our co founder, Sean Manning, online. And Sean, if you could introduce yourself and then also well, maybe we should go Caleb, Kim, and then Sean, if you would, so that we can go into the history of this event. Caleb, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yep. Good evening, everyone. My name is Caleb Martin. I'm the center director here at Martin Luther King Rec Center, and excited to put on this event with everyone else this Saturday. It'll be my third year involved in the event. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. And Kim?
Yes, hello everyone. Good evening. I'm Kim Phillips P. I'm with Southeast Art Team, and I have helped out in the youth area, so I'm excited to be involved this year. Thank you, Joanne, for the invite.
Thank you, Kim, and thank you for helping in the production of this online, uh, you know, uh, meeting that we have. We are trying to share this information far and wide. So for people that need information on parking or the logistics of this event, you can view it at your leisure. Send it out to your network because we're going to go over a lot of great information in preparation. So we'll try to run this as smoothly as possible. So if I may, I'd like to introduce you to Sean Manning, who's also the founder of Ground Up Youth Foundation and co-founder of this event. Sean? Is your mic on, Sean? Nope. Looks like it's on mute.
Yeah, it looks like
Oh,
his mic may not be working, so we would ask Sean if he wants to add any information in the comments until the mic
okay.
is connected.
Okay. I think he got disconnected just now. So thank you everyone for bearing with us. But Sean is the one of the co-founders of this event, and we are very excited to bring this event forward again in tandem, working with our Parks and Rec staff. So thank you, Caleb. We've gone through our introductions. We want to share with you the history of this annual event. I was really leaning on Sean for this, but over a decade ago, we approached the MLK Parks and Rec Council, and that's something I'd like to invite all of you to take part in. The MLK Rec Council meets every other month. We have a meeting actually tomorrow at 12 o'clock. There's Sean. Sean, we're going to go over the history, and that's something I was really leaning on for you to do. I just talked about the Rec Council when we approached for this event. So if you could take it away.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Technical difficulty. Sorry about that. Where do you want me to just begin in the beginning of this to just talk about why we had it and what the mission is and that kind of stuff?
Yes,
It's
please.
away from titles and just having events. This is more about the history of the community, trying to get everyone that has a history in the community to come together and to be able to share information about how beautiful the community is, how it was founded, what's going on in the community in the past, and what we have going on now, as well as making those things collective and to create a plan of to try to cut down on some of the division that we have and bring people together so we can move forward collectively and start dotting the I's and crossing the T's and really servicing one another the right way, the way family and community should function. And so, therefore, we started thinking about what to do. And then Martin Luther King came up. The park was not very active at that time, to be honest with you. So, we decided to do it there because his namesake park is right there. And then we just wanted to bring the youth with the elderly together somehow and get that back to where it used to be so they could sit around and learn about their stories, and how they function and what made their lives great, and give them some information so how they can move forward. Because a lot of kids nowadays really don't have foundation. They're just living and don't know how to live or why they're living, and they don't have a purpose to move forward to live. And we're experiencing a lot of them making wrong decisions that affect the rest of their lives right now. So that's a lot to talk about, but it's really where my passion is, in doing the event and why we having it, and then also to honor some of the things or a lot of the things that Dr. Martin Luther King wanted to do with the peace movements and bringing everybody in equality and those type of things. And so, to further that, it's been a great event. I don't know anyone that's walked away frowning or had anything negative to say about it. Everybody's always had a great time, from the youth to the older. My passion is with the youth and being able to feed them and see the smiles on their faces, and they can kind of tell that it's really about them and there's nothing in the way of really highlighting them. And I fight for that every year to make sure that nothing's in the way of their happiness for that one day.
Thank you, Sean. And in addition to that, when we had our in-person meeting, when you arrive at the festival, it's like a reunion that people haven't seen each other in years. People are meeting their neighbors for their first time, especially after COVID, that we're now past this pandemic, and reuniting the community at our civil rights leader namesake park, reuniting the schools, the business owners, the decision makers, from elected officials to community and faith-based organization. This is our park for all of us to enjoy. And like Sean said, to learn our histories. You're going to see San Diego civil rights leaders who fought for us to have programs like this. So we make sure that we have access to the park. So we want to make sure that everyone is welcomed. We are truly inclusive, and that everyone has a seat at the table. We have resource booths. We will have entertainment, but we are going to start with a parade. And people have questioned. I received phone calls. I know Sean and Caleb. Why are we having this parade in the neighborhood? It's just that. Well, for over 10 years, we've been asked, can we have the parade in the community? Yes, but it's going to take all of us to produce it. There's a lot of hours poured in to organize the script, to pay for the barricades, to work with the police and the bus. MTS runs their bus. We have to divert them. So there's a lot of planning and behind the scenes that goes on that the public may not see out front. And it is very costly. It's not cheap to put this event together. But again, we're responding to the requests in the community, and we purposely planned this event to happen the weekend after the this year. It was the 41st MLK parade in downtown on Harbor Drive. We want to support that. They are the original organizers, the alphas and the fraternities and community orgs that convene together. So it's not an either or, it's in addition. We should be celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King every day. He made changes that we are afforded today. So when people ask about the history and why are we doing, it's exactly what Sean has shared. This is what we have been demonstrating for over a decade. And again, the parade is in response for a neighborhood parade. And we don't have the big floats like we would like to. Maybe it will grow, but it's the ideas and the creativity from the community, but more importantly, the spirit of working together to get things done. So thank you, Sean. Did you want to add anything else to the history of the event?
Yeah, and we can say that it's our event, but we really want everybody to feel like it's event. My whole thing is really just making sure I have a piece of history but it's not everybody's history. So we want everybody to bring what it means to be from the community, to bring it forth and let everybody know what their experiences are and what they love about it, how it's helped them be successful, or how it's helped them be, um, what makes them love the community and still live there and give back to it. And we just need more of that. To add to piggyback off what you said about uh, the parade, it has nothing to do with the other parade. We're not against that parade. I've been there a few times, and I just know what is needed in our community to have a parade in the community that wraps around his park and the streets that are lined with it, so people can walk to the event. There's people that can't make it downtown or don't know to, or don't even feel comfortable. So it's not versus like Ms. Fields said. It's just more so of other cities have 10 parades, Martin Luther King, or 5 parades. It's not a versus or which one is better. It's just more about highlighting the part of the city of San Diego that aligns with the park and the people that come from it.
Thank you. And I do want to make mention, when we did first present this, Mario Lewis was part of that presentation. And I had to mention that as well. So if you received the link to this meeting tonight and you're on StreamYard, you're going to, you have received the agenda. So I apologize if you didn't receive it in person, but I can share with you what the items that we will be talking about. So we've talked about the history. Now we're going to talk about the parade. The parade is going to start at Valencia Park Elementary, from the Valencia Park Elementary baseball field. The way you're going to access to get to the baseball field is from Imperial Avenue. Imperial Avenue, you're going to head south on Valencia Park. What we're asking all of our participants to do is drop off your carload of marching participants, whether it's the high steppers, or if it's the Morris or Lincoln cheer team. We want you to coordinate with a driver. The driver will drop off your march in the car, but the drivers are going to 61st Street. We'll give you a short map of a route where you're going to park. And Caleb has coordinated a shuttle van that will take the drivers back. We want this to flow very smoothly. So the best time really to arrive would be 7:30, definitely before 8 o'clock, so that there isn't a huge bottleneck. Because after you drop off your marchers, we have car clubs. We have the Black Lowriders Association and at least 3 car clubs that will be bringing their cars, and we need to line them up. We have elected officials that will be dropped off. We have our pastors. We have faith-based leaders. So again, we want to coordinate this in a safe manner, and we want you to have parking so that it's easy for you to get in and out. Because I will share with you, and if Caleb, if you can talk about the road closures that are taking place on the parade route. Caleb?
Yep. Yeah, sure. So all the roads, I mean, essentially the street closures are going to start pretty early, especially towards that Valencia Park section of the street. So anyone going to the parade, yeah, definitely get there as early as you can. Skyline will be closed from Valencia Parkway all the way through towards, I believe it's 65th. And that's going to be, if you're vending or anything of that sort, I would say definitely come through towards the east side to get to the rec center. But yeah, as far as the parade's concerned, that'll be the baseball field, and then we will have that shuttle going back and forth from O'Farrell parking lot with city staff offering rides.
Yes, thank you, Caleb. So for all the parade participants, you should have received a confirmation from me Caleb or Sean, that we receive not only your parade application, more importantly, your script. We need a script for our parade announcers so that when you walk by the announcer booth, they can share either the mission statement of your organization or the history of your organization. We can't write a whole book, but we need to at least a 30-second like commercial, if you will, to introduce your parade contingency so that, again, when you walk by the parade announcer booth, which will be located in front of O'Farrell Charter School, we want to make sure we present who you are the way you would like, and that is important to have the script. If you didn't turn in the script, you can email it to me. You would have my email that it was on the application, Joanne, JOANN .fields@gmail.com. So please check in with me to confirm if you didn't receive an email confirmation for the parade. Okay, so while we're at the parade and you're waiting for the parade to step off, I want to share with you we have some vendors and small business owners that have donated prizes for an opportunity drawing. So we have incentives for you so that you arrive early. We're hoping 8 o'clock. You'll come with your family, friends, and a lawn chair, have something to sit on while you wait for the parade that starts at 9 o'clock. The parade again starts at 9 o'clock. But we want you to be settled in, comfortable. Of course, you can bring your own food and drink, but we want to be compliant with the city. We need to throw away our trash. Don't dump anything onto the storm drains or the street. They are very detailed, not to put even water or ice onto the street or storm drains. So please, let's leave the venue better than what we found it in. So we'll have trash and recycling receptacles up and down Skyline Drive. So please take note again of the water and environment protection. We want to be good neighbors and we don't want to leave a mess with anybody. Okay, so moving on from the parade, if any, Kim, if you can check our chat box, if anybody has any questions, you can ask in the chat. And we also are monitoring our social media. This is streaming on our Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. 619 Facebook page, and it's on a personal page and also on LinkedIn and YouTube. So, again, if anyone in your group that needs this information, please share this out to your network. Okay, parade. Again, parade participants, your parking, you will get dropped off, and then your drivers will go park at O'Farrell Charter School in the back parking lot. But if you are coming to watch the parade, if you're coming to watch the parade, we're asking you to park. If you're coming before 7:45, you can park in the front parking lot of O'Farrell, accessed from Woodman. From Woodman Street, you can go west on Skyline, then take a right into their driveway. But after 7:45, Skyline will get shut down where you cannot park in O'Farrell and you can park in the neighborhood. The largest neighborhood parking that we found that's easier to access is from Division Street, and then you go north on 61st Street. You'll go east on Elderly, and then there is a street opening on O'Mara Street to Skyline, and that's actually the best place to park and watch the parade, because the parade announcer booth will be right across the street. So you're going to hear the description of the contingencies that are walking in the parade. So you're gonna the best location again will be on the south side of Skyline, accessed from Division Street. Okay, so we went over staging and registration, protecting the
Joanne?
water. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. We do have a couple of questions that have come in.
Okay.
And so I show them here on the screen. There's one from Lynn. She says, what time do you open for vendor setup?
Okay, I'm going to get there, Lynn. That's actually next on the agenda, vendor and then festival. Any other questions?
Yes. Connie says, if she gets there at 8 a.m., where can she park to stay at the event?
Okay, so if you arrive at 8 o'clock, again, the best place to access Skyline is from Division, which is on the south side of Skyline. We have posted our maps on social media. We've emailed details to all of our vendors. And if I remember right, Connie, you are associated with one of our vendors. So I can make sure to email you the map. But again, for everyone that is looking for parking, the best place is to be on the south side of Skyline. So you are right in front of the parade booth, which is on the Skyline Charter School side. I hope that answers your question. Mm-hmm.
The next question from Christian is there a specific order that the organizations will line up in the parade march?
Yes, there's definitely an order. Every year, and this is only the second year for the parade, we start with a march in solidarity with our faith-based and community leaders. Our elected officials will lead the parade. Right behind them, actually in front of them, will be a color guard. But there is definitely an order. You'll receive your assignment the morning of. We have volunteers, and thank you for our volunteers for signing up so that they will help pace and position you in the lineup for the parade. So you're going to get that lineup number the morning of. So that's another reason why to come early so we can arrange your group. Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next question is from Gerald. He says, where do the cars that will participate in the parade go? Floats on the baseball field or on Skyline?
They will not be on the baseball field. That is for all the walkers. The cars will be lined up in the median, in the middle of the street. We have traffic police officers from SDPD that have helped shut down one side of Valencia Parkway. So there's a median that you're going to line up, Gerald, for the car for Morris High School. And that is, again, access from Imperial and then south on Valencia Parkway. And we can email if I thank you, Azaria, who is on this call as well. She's taking note. Azaria, if you can please note to send directions for parking for a car to Gerald Cison and Connie Zaragoza for parking after 8. Okay. Any other questions?
All said thank you. Yeah, that was all we had, and they said thank you. That was good. When you open it up for questions, then we can answer them.
Okay, thank you for monitoring, and thank you for taking notes, and thank you for your questions, because that might be something another person might be too shy to ask. So thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to vendors. Vendors setup. Vendors, we had an orientation. We're going to reiterate vendors. We want you to arrive by 7:45. Staff will, Parks and Rec staff, Caleb, do you want to go over what time you will be there and how staff will assist in the unload? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. Well, the main staff will be there, and the volunteers are going to be there right at 7 o'clock. So I would suggest to any of the vendors, between 7:45 would be the best time. If you want to get there earlier, you're more than welcome to, because I'll be sending out the map tomorrow night, which will include your location number and your booth area. So, I mean, you're more than welcome to get there earlier and actually just set up in your numbered booth. But at 7 o'clock, we'll have a lot more staff and volunteers here to help with, setting up your booths or just like, carrying, accessing all your equipment that you need. And so, like Joanne had mentioned, the roads will be closing around that 7:45 timeframe, definitely by 8. So at that point, we're going to have all the vendors' cars. If you could just drive down the road towards the George Stevens Senior Center, and then you can just walk up through the park. It's a really quick stroll up the park, and I'll include that map on the vendor map when I send that out tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you, Caleb. And we also are providing another option for vendors. We have a large community room. If you would like to drop off any equipment Friday afternoon between the hours of 12 and 7 o'clock, you can store your items, especially like your canopies or tables. You can bring those heavier items so that we can have volunteers to help you set up. We, again, what we're asking our vendors, please come before 7:45 so you can unload. We will have volunteers and staff assist in the unload, but for sure by 8 o'clock, we have to clear the streets. We have over 60 vendors, so we don't want to bottleneck all of you. Try to come early so you can take your time and no stress of unloading and then the tow cars come in. So I know that we have 2 large buses that are coming. We have Kaiser Permanente Health Mobile that will provide health screenings, free health screenings. They have a bus. And also we have the County of San Diego Live Well at Work or Live Well on Wheels bus, who will also provide information and resources of county programs and services. So we have to be clear off the skyline side next to the pool where these large car buses will be parking. I saw your hand up, Kim. You're on mute. Yes.
Yikes.
Oh, thought you had a question. Okay.
I did. Sorry about that, Joanne. I was on mute. 2 questions. On Friday, where should someone pull in if they want to drop off early? You said the community room. Is that the rec center?
Yes, it's in the rec center right up front. There is a driveway that will lead up to the community room, and maybe we can put one of our posters, Caleb. We can merge one of our posters to be right in front of the doorway where you can bring your store your items. Thank you for that question.
And then Teresa, thank you, Joanne. Teresa has a question for Caleb. She says that since her truck is the biggest one, do you want her to still be one of the first ones to arrive? And she's from Famigo Ice Cream.
Yeah, with the food vendors there, I have a feeling most of them are going to be coming earlier anyways. So that's fine. And then I'll have that on the map location as well. And then I can get with you offline about that too. So yeah, the earlier the better for all the food vendors.
Thank you.
Yeah. That'll be
one more.
Some people. Go ahead.
Sorry. Connie says, where does she drop off her fees for the booth, and can she drop it off tomorrow and get a receipt?
Yep. Yeah. So we'll be available tomorrow between 12 and 8 p.m. And then we have paper receipts that we distribute after, and it's either credit or debit, please.
Yeah. So again, credit or debit from the hours of 12 to 7 o'clock. You have to go to the rec center. Again, that address 6401 Skyline Drive. You'll either see Caleb or Robert. They're the ones that can process payments. Unfortunately, there is not an option for online payment. You have to physically go in, either credit or debit. And again, Caleb or Robert will process that payment. You may want to call ahead so they can know that you're on the way. The phone number there is 619 527 3415. 619 527-3415. And if you could maybe put that in the chat, Kim, for people that may need it. And again, the address 6401 Skyline Drive between the hours of 12 and 7 o'clock. Okay, it looks like we have another question from Norma Marquez. So Norma, when you drop off your goods or products, you will proceed to go back on Skyline. Well, you'll always be on Skyline. You're going to head east on Skyline, take a right on 65th Street. That will lead you to the parking lot of the George Stevens Senior Center. George Stevens Senior Center. When you get there, you'll park. There is a driveway where you can walk. I know that you were going to try to get a cart, Caleb, to try to transport our vendors back and forth in that back parking lot.
Yeah, we're gonna have there's a gator that we have, and then we also have a smaller cart from the cemetery that we're using through the city. So it's not too bad of a walk, but if there's people that do need assistance, then we will definitely have that available.
Okay. And again, we have over 60 vendors, and that's why we are asking you to come as early as possible so that we don't bottleneck and everyone can get to their places in time for setup. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, we're going to go ahead and keep moving through this agenda. So vendor setup, registration, there will be a person that will check you in front of the MLK swimming pool. We can set up a table there so you can check in there. We'll have, again, volunteers to help move your things, and then you'll have your assignment of where your booth is. If you want to come before 7 o'clock hour, before staff comes, you're more than welcome to come, but please don't expect the volunteers or staff to help move your things because they won't be there yet, because we are setting up other logistics for the parade and festival. But we do ask that
also if you do come, please abide by the number that you were designated, because we want to make sure that everyone's in their correct location. So just, if you do come early, please make sure you're abiding by the map that was sent out. Thanks.
Yes, there's been requests for your special location, but it's too difficult to do that. And the challenge is that we have rules that we have to abide by, especially for food vendors. They have to be close to the MLK Park and Rec for the kitchen, for the water and wash station. So I see that there is a question regarding band setup. So we do have a stage. And Carlton, I'm going to share with you, our sponsor wasn't able to provide us the larger stage and sound. So bands will be set up on the east side of the swimming pool. There is a stage that will be set up there, so the bands can also unload in front of the swimming pool. We'll have a designated area for drop off. Again, once everyone clears out by 8, we will have the 2 buses roll in, and then we'll have a space available for ride shares drop-offs. Again, will be in front of the swimming pool, but also for our entertainment and bands. Okay. The latest time for arrival, we're asking all the vendors to please set up preferably by 10 o'clock because, or even 9, because what happens is when the parade ends, it finishes at the park. It finishes at the park. So if the parade is starting at 9 and then the marching units start to trickle in, they're going to start wanting to look at your goods. They're going to want to start ordering food. They're going to start looking around the arts in the park section that Kim's setting up. We have a kids zone. So we are asking for sure by 10 o'clock, but the latest time of arrival would be 8. If you want to drop off in front of the MLK swimming pool, otherwise, you're going to have to truck your goods from the back parking lot on 65th Street. Because what's happening at 8 o'clock, we have tow trucks that are coming to clear the streets. There are 72-hour no parking signs up right now in front of the neighborhood on Skyline Drive, fronting any of the houses that front the parade, and they will be clearing any parked cars. We don't want any of our cars towed, so that's why we have that 7:45 mark, but 8 o'clock is the final time that we have to move all the cars. And if we have 60 cars all at one time, it's going to take more than 10 minutes or 15 minutes to clear. So please keep in mind that there's going to be a lot of movement, and we want this to be a safe event. So we want to plan accordingly. We're trying to provide you volunteers and staff to help move your things so that you can automatically go back to 65th Street and park your car at the George Stevens Senior Center. I hope that answers your question, Laura. Okay.
Joanne, did you see CEO's message about where will the live bands be set up? I had got disconnected.
Oh, yes, I did. It's going to be on the east side of the MLK swimming pool where we have a stage set up. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then Tanisha said she didn't receive the map. Can she call Caleb after this meeting?
You can call, but we have it posted on the on social media. All of our vendors and parade participants should have received the map for the parade route and for parking. We'll have a map printed also when you arrive for check-in for registration for the vendors, and then also for the parade when there's a drop-off at Valencia Park baseball field.
Yeah, and if she's referring to the vendor map specifically, that'll be sent out tomorrow night, and that'll have all your numbers and your locations for vendors.
Okay. So thank you for that clarification, Caleb.
Thank you. A question from Robin is, how many bands are we going to have?
So I have to go over the list. I want to thank CEO for trying to get his band there. We're looking for that sponsorship for that last push so we can pay our bands for their time. We have Black Expressions, Kovu, who has organized the Good Trouble Collective. They will have a series of spoken word. I believe there's a band, but there's live entertainment. Of course, I see Nina and Robin Davis, and maybe Pat is online. Everybody, line dancers. Doesn't matter what age group you fall in, if you understand English or not, everybody loves to dance, especially line dance. So we will have DJ Cool T. Many people know him from the neighborhood. DJ Cool T will be on the main stage where we will have, again, music playing throughout. So sorry, I don't have the exact number of bands, Robin, but we'll try to post the program so that everyone can see when our performers are on stage and with that number of bands. Mm-hmm. And she has a question on marching bands. I have to review who has actually given their parade application. I know for sure, and thank you, Tyra Hawthorne and Heartbeat Music Academy. Her band will be coming. We also have a drumline coming from O'Farrell Charter School. Many didn't know that they have a drumline. They will be joining us. I want to thank Cynthia Gilliam. She's been recruiting marching bands from San Diego Unified. So that's who I need to check in for additional bands. I'm almost sure we have representation from Crawford, but I'll get you the confirmed number and names. But thank you for asking, Robin. And this is why we're asking everybody to please turn in your forms. We went way past the deadline so that we can accommodate everybody. We want to be inclusive, but now this is game time. We're 72 hours out. We need to have our schedules, our lineup, our names, the scripts, all of that done by tomorrow. So, thank you for everybody that has asked last minute to join us, but this is the deadline. This is the hard stop. And unfortunately, we have to have that hard stop, but we have to prepare the lineup so we can answer your questions about the bands, the live bands, the marching bands. Okay, so Norma Marquez, can we drop vendor items before 7:45 and then return? No, because who's going to watch your items? We don't want it to, if something happens to your items, Norma, we don't want, we can't take that responsibility of watching your things. But you, in the contract, if I remember right on the application, we did ask for vendors to stay with their booth the entire time of the event. So maybe if you could recruit somebody to switch off with you, that would be ideal. But there's so much going on and so much activity, Norma. Unfortunately, we don't have someone that can sit at the booth to watch your items. Any other questions? The script, you can send it to Caleb, preferably me, because we have a lot of emails going back and forth. My email again, if you don't mind putting it in the chat, Kim, Joanne, JOANN .fields@gmail.com. And we're specific on the font size, at least 14 Times New Roman font, single space, because we need our parade announcers to be able to read your script. And please, not too long, make it a 30-second commercial for your organization. Maybe the mission statement of your org, or in the case of the car clubs, Mark Forte, thank you for organizing the Black Lowriders Association. We have the make and model of the president's car and the mission statement for each club. So please be creative in your announcement, but please know that the parade has to keep moving. Okay. So Nina is asking about t-shirts. We do have t-shirts available for our volunteers and for our basketball participants. Um, so unfortunately, we don't have thousands of t-shirts because we're expecting that many people to come, but our volunteers, especially, we'll give it until we run out. But we've at least allotted 40 volunteer t-shirts, and we'll have that on hand. And thank you, Norma. We're in agreement. Okay, so for volunteers, our volunteers will meet up. We have two groups. We have a group that will go to Caleb at the MLK Park and Rec. The shift is 7 to 11, 7 a.m. to 11, either at the park, or you'll be at the Valencia Park Elementary School baseball field. That's where we're going to convene our volunteers. 2 locations. So decide which side you'd like to be at. But if you would, please email the names and point of contact for the volunteers so we can have a count of who's coming and if we need more volunteers, because we need at least 40 on the side of the parade. And myself or Caleb is your point of contact for volunteers, and you can find our contact information again in the chat box. I can take your logo. I can't promise a digital ad, I'll try to do it, but I'll go ahead and email it, and we'll try to do more digital ads. But thank you for bringing that up, Violetta. That everybody, if you are on social media, please share this video. Please share the post so that people will get information, especially about parking, especially about the road closures and the start time. So if the start time is 9 o'clock for the parade, please don't start coming to the parade at 9. Please arrive ahead of time so that you can get your place, set up your lawn chair, bring your friends, your family, and really support our young people. We have a lot of great participants, both in entertainment and the parade. Sean, do you want to talk about some of the contingencies that are in the parade that we are going to celebrate? If you didn't know, we have the CIF state champion football team. It's their first CIF championship that they've won. And we are expecting the whole Lincoln football team and cheer team and staff to be there. So we want to have a public celebration of them winning that state championship. What's also exciting is one of our committee members, Lou Barnes, who is alumni of Lincoln High School, also a professional football player who has a record of being the rookie of 57 punt returns. I believe that's the number 57. And he will be there. And he has recruited 29 pro players to walk in the parade, so that again we are highlighting our champions of today, but champions of the past, and to share and really show the community that we have great talent in the community. And I'm excited to share. I wish I had my whole list in front of me. My internet went down on my computer. But again, Lou Barnes, former NFL player. Many of you know Steve Pierce, Achilles Smith, also alumni of Lincoln and pro player. But we have MVP of the Super Bowls, 2 MVP Super Bowl players and Hall of Famers. We have Terrell Davis, and we also have Marcus Allen. So for us folks that are of that generation, they are great players. So we have great players of today, and we have great players of yesteryear, and we want to celebrate them. But we have other schools that will be participating. We have O'Farrell, we have Morris Tigers. We have a lot to celebrate there also at Morris. Morris is coming in numbers as well with their they have their flags team, cheer team. They have their dance, not dance, cheer, flags, majorettes will be coming out. I know there's representation from Crawford and O'Farrell. I believe there's also participation from Hoover, if I remember right. So again, this is for the whole community to celebrate, and we have young people, we have old school, new school, and again, it's going to be like a reunion. So please come out with family, friends, plan ahead for parking, because we have a lot to offer you. We have our faith-based leaders. Thank you, Senior Pastor Dr. Terry Brooks from Bayview is confirmed. Miss Kathleen Harmon, she's been outreaching along with Cynthia Gilliam. We have representation with Pastor Glenn from St. Stephen's. We have the Bethel AME that will be there. So we want everyone to come out. We have our brothers and sisters from Mosque Number 8. Thank you, Sister Mary, for coordinating. So we want to embrace every faith, every person, the diversity, the small businesses, the schools. There is a lot to celebrate in our community, and this is our time to do that. And we welcome all of you. Sean, do you want to add anyone else that will be in the parade? I think your mic is on now.
Yeah, I just got kicked out for a minute. But did you mention the NFL players?
Yes.
They'll be a part of it. Who else? I couldn't really hear who you mentioned, but it's a host of people coming, and then we want to build upon that for upcoming events and future parades that we have in the
Mm-hmm.
future.
Like Gerald Cison, thank you for one of the social clubs. Solace will be there, and he'll be organizing there, and it is very diverse. It is very diverse because that's who Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Advocated for, is that we embrace every creed, every color, and the diversity of our community. I know that Ellen Nash is had put the word out for BayPAC, Kenya Taylor for NAACP. We have Junkyard Dance Group. They're going to be performing again. Everybody line dancers. They're going to be both in the parade and on stage. So again, there's something for everybody. We have free activities. Thank you, Kim. Kim has face painting. Do you want to go ahead and talk about Arts in the Park, Kim?
Yes, so excited, Joanne. We have recently started up an event called Art in the Park, where CJ and I and other local artists have been gathering to show off our art and just show what's possible in the art world. We had a workshop one day where we talked about 10 steps to being an artist. So there will be an educational standpoint as well as the face painting, like you said, and we'll have tons of art on display by our local artists, most who were born and raised in the community.
Yes, and that's really, really key. Again, we want to support local businesses, local artists, our local schools, our elected officials. Joining us that morning, we will have Mayor of San Diego, Todd Gloria, will be there. We will have a special presentation also from Council Member Monica Montgomery Stepp. Dr. Whitehurst, Sharon Whitehurst Payne. She'll be representing San Diego Unified School District. Our neighbors to the east, we will have the council president pro tem for Lemon Grove City Council men. We have George Gastel joining us. We will have certificates presented from the Office of Supervisor, newly elected as president, Nora Vargas. So again, this is a time for us to show real unity in the community network. See our neighbors once again that we haven't seen in a while. This is our celebration. It's not ours. It's alone. It's ours as a whole community. So bring your friends, bring your family, bring your lawn chair, bring your appetite, because we have some great vendors. We have at least 8 to 10 food vendors. Chef Char and her seafood, soul food will be served. We have Chef Mac. He also will be serving soul food. Ruth will have Mabella's Creation serving food. We have an ice cream truck. Our friend, I'm trying to remember everybody's name, so please forgive me if I don't remember your name right away, but we do have an ice cream truck. Famigos ice cream will be there. We have coffee that will be there. I think it's Loca Bean Cafe that will be there. So we have a little bit of everything, even tacos. That's Caleb and City of San Diego. They have their great supporter of the community. But also Sean, you have your volunteer chefs that feeds all the basketball players that take part in the showcase. So do you want to talk about that part of the festivities with the Sports Fest, Ground Up Sports Fest?
It's a part of the games that we're having, and we try to have like not the best player, but the player with the best attitude or sportsmanship, and give him something for his achievements. And then, as well as that, after every game, each participating basketball player gets a free meal. So it could be a hot dog, hamburger, chips, and something to drink. And that's usually the best part for the kids, because most of the time they go to tournaments and food is hard to come by. So that's a big up for the park and for us this presenting this showcase to be able to feed kids and have them have belly fulls and smiles for the whole.
Yeah.
So we have
Thank you.
we have Coach Mike Brown, who is a community member and a coach throughout San Diego. He also has an event in January in June that we'll promote for scholars down on the bay, where we give a lot of giveaways and free things for kids and adults alike. So we'll be able to announce that as well. But what we're trying to do is get people that have events to support one another, and then we can see each other a lot more and then get to know each other a lot better and promote one another and promote the community and then just build from there.
Yes, and we're promoting our San Diego civil rights leaders. While Mr. Minor has passed, we have Jeff Harper, who is our basketball coach at Lincoln, to receive an award on his family's behalf. But this is something that's really important and key for our presentation, is to make sure we recognize the leaders before us that have fought for us, to be able to do what we're doing today. So we have several community members that will receive awards that day, and we hope that you'll celebrate with them, celebrate with us the awardees that will be presented about 11:30 on the main stage. I see a couple more questions. Is the George Stevens Senior Center still the parking location for vendors and volunteers and the shuttle? So the shuttle will run for vendors, and that shuttle is really just from the parking lot through the park on the sidewalk to the venue. As far as the volunteer shuttle, we will see. I don't know if you got a second shuttle bus, Caleb. I know that was something you were trying to work on, but it's a short walk to O'Farrell, and we have a shuttle from O'Farrell to Valencia Park Elementary, if that's where you will want to end up at as far as the staging of the parade.
There's
So,
a question I'd like to answer from
sure.
Michael, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
How can he add value? What I would like to say is everybody just drop your titles and achievements and that kind of stuff, and not necessarily you, Michael, but just have people come and just enjoy the festivities. We need more people to just come, hang out, and have a great time where there's great spirit, it's a great atmosphere, and a lot of fun, and just call it a day off or a day of rest where you can just have nothing to worry about.
Thank you, Sean, and thank you, Michael, for lending support. I really want to. We have. You said that there's someone that wrote. I know the man that wrote the "I Have a Dream" speech. We have 2 young people from St. Stephen's Church that will actually deliver the speech. Young people, so we'll have that also in the main stage. So thank you. And
Joanne.
you're waiting. Thank you for the clarification, Lou. So Lou Barnes, again, he is our coordinator for the Lincoln Pro players. He's waiting for confirmation of players that will be attending. So I did get the list. So please don't be mad if you don't see the players that you want to see, but please know that they're invited to join us. So thank you for sharing that, Lou. I thought it was confirmed, but they are invited, and we hope all the players that have been invited can join us for this. Really, it's a historical moment. We think this will be the largest parade and festival that we have to date. Okay, Mike. Yep, I remember you, Michael, from Jazz Fest. So, anything else? Any other questions?
Joanne, Erica. Yep. Erica wanted to know, will she need to tear down? Sorry, give me 1 second.
She needs to tear down early. Let's answer that one off with Caleb, because we want to encourage everyone to stay the whole time. But Caleb, if you can answer her, question and what arrangements could possibly be made. So on the
There it
agenda,
is.
we went over live entertainment. We have the opportunity drawings that will start at 8 o'clock. We want to offer incentives. I have a cool skateboard with a San Diego Padres theme on it that will be given away. One of our small businesses has offered that. So, any of the vendors, any of you that want your product announced and shared in the community, see one of our committee members, myself, Sean, or Caleb, and or Kim. We'll make sure that we announce from the announcer's booth, where DJ D Rock, he's going to be playing music. He also grew up right there on Skyline. He's joining us. Many of you may know him from the radio stations or the club. Then we also have Preacher Man that will be there for the parade announcers. So yes, Erica, the event does end at 4. And again, we had this meeting online so we can get all the information out into the community. It's going to be too hard to answer calls and texts the night before, the day of. So please share the information. Tell your family and friends what we're planning to do. Share the video and share the maps. And again, we want this to go out. We want to thank our media partners. I've seen our event on calendars, KPBS. We were on KOSI last Saturday. Thank you, Tommy Sablon, for that. Channel 8 will be on the news in the morning around 8. I think it was 8:15, I believe, or 8 o'clock. This Friday will be on Channel 8. I know they're working on it at NBC. So we really appreciate all of our partners. And, Channel 5, we have a lot of media outlets where we have friends. But you are the best media outlet yourself to give a personal invitation to folks. Go ahead and e-blast your folks, Michael. Our vendors are going to love it. So we're going to ask you to support our vendors, buy the clothing, buy the wares, buy the artwork, and especially the food. We want to support our small businesses. Okay. Any other questions? We went over live entertainment, the opportunity drawing. If you have anything to donate and would like to be announced, we'll collect it at the parade announcer booth, and have that as incentives for everybody that's coming early. Media has been invited. San Diego Union Tribune listed the event on their newspaper, and it's all over social media. It can be on your social media networks like Michael and his 1.5 million list. But we invite, that personal invitation is what really does it. Any other questions? Because I don't want to go too long. We're at the 1 hour mark. We appreciate you. We appreciate the support, but I'm excited to see all of you in person. Any closing remarks?
The event does end at 4. Someone asked.
Yes. Closing remarks, Sean, Caleb, or Kim?
Thanks, Joanne, for all the help you've been doing, and looking forward to putting this event on, and really appreciate the committee members as a whole coming together, and excited to see everyone there on Saturday. So looking forward to it. Thanks.
I can go. Just thank you to everybody, Kim, for helping facilitate this, and Caleb, everything that you're doing, and Joanne for setting up this meeting and all the other things that you've been doing, and to all the former and new people that we have involved. Let's just look forward to a great event. All the questions that we've asked and everything is worthwhile, but just know you're going to have a great time.
Yes, teamwork makes the dream work, and that's what we're really trying to move forward. We need to demonstrate that for our young people, but also for ourselves as adults. Some of us have moved away from, why do we do what we do? And I think this is a good reminder of who Dr. Martin Luther King is. We need to continue his legacy and really demonstrate what's possible when we work together. And I see Regina Henderson. Thank you for all the posts. I see a lot of you. You're very active on social. So I'm going to ask all of you to share the video, share the flyers, invite your friends. And this is I'm going to call it a party because we're celebrating together. It's all yours. So let's celebrate together, plan ahead for parking, be patient, and just know that we appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Good night. And if you have questions, you have our email. Thank you.
Night.
Good night. Be safe. See you on Saturday.